Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a very special puzzle today. I found the email that Tobias sent us very appealing, and he said that he had worked for the same person for the last 6 years across four companies, across different continents. Tobias has been working for Oliver, and he really likes and respects him. And sadly, their professional association is coming to an end today. So Tobias also said that he congratulated us sincerely on 600,000 subscribers and felt that we deserved every one, and that we had brought the ability back to his wife to re-enjoy puzzles and be introduced by Tobias to variant sudoku, having tried only the classic version. Anyway, I was very appealed to by the notion of somebody trying to honour their boss. This is quite rare. I once read a statistic that said that 80% of reasons for resignations are the boss, which is astonishing when one always imagines that it's salary or working conditions that determine pay. Now, that determine decisions whether to stay or leave a job. Now, I'm not sure I believe the statistic. I did read it, but I don't know what the source was. I don't remember any of that. But it certainly appealed to me quite forcefully as potentially much more of an important thing than one realizes. So anyway, I thought it was very charming that Tobias wanted to celebrate having worked for Oliver for so long. And Tobias has recently started constructing puzzles, and he thinks this one fits the bill quite well. So we're going to have a look at it, even though it's quite a complicated rule set. So stick with me when I go through the rules. Don't forget that you can get more puzzles on Patreon. We'll be launching a new hunt on the 1st of August. And you can get many more puzzles on our apps, which are fantastic, and new ones under construction, which is great. And they're all on the links under the video, along with Sven's Sudoku pad and our merchandise. Get yourself a wonderful Cracking the Cryptic mug, for instance. But let's do the rules of this puzzle, because they're going to take a little while. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Draw a 1-cell wide path across life, says Tobias. So I think we can take life to mean the grid. We're going to draw a sort of 1-cell path or snake around this grid. The path does not branch and does not touch itself orthogonally. So I think we can assume it moves orthogonally, but it can't touch itself. So it couldn't go there, for instance. That is what we consider being a naughty snake. No jokes, please. So what about the path? Start in one of the cages. There are 2 cages in this puzzle, visiting the hidden letters E and M there in that order. We can't see E and M in either of these cages, but they must be there. Continue the path into the other cage, visiting V and A in that order, before returning to the first region, visiting M again. That's just fascinating. So that's all very prescribed for us. Letters each represent a different digit, and any letter shown in the grid is not on the path. So there are obviously whatever M represents, there are 9 of that digit in the grid, and they are all, there's 2 given and 7 hidden M's. The path leaves behind exactly 1 region of each of sizes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's like a snake egg puzzle. In fact, I think Tobias said he was somewhat inspired by Glum Hippo's snake egg pack, which is on Patreon, a brilliant thing. If a circle is on the path, its digit says how many path cells it sees, counting itself. Non-path cells block the view. So if that was part of the path, this circle would see 4 cells. And if that was part of the path, it would see, 4 cells again. So we count itself, but not and obviously non-path cells block the view. If a circle is off the path, it says how big its non-path region is, or a snake egg. Along the path, a blue square indicates a pair of digits summing to 10, whereas in the areas not on the path, and that could be here just as much, it indicates a pair of digits summing to 5. No blue square is only partially on the path, so the blue squares are either fully on or fully off the path. I mean, it's a fascinating group of rules, not anything like we've ever seen before. I hope it means a little more relevant to Oliver and Tobias. Maybe the letters matter, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a path through life. Let's see if we can find it. Give it a try if you fancy it on the link under the video. Otherwise, watch me have a go and flounder on this path. But let's get cracking. So, there's an awful lot to take in here. We've got a path. The path leaves these snake egg regions behind, and that's all it leaves. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 cells. So we can know the length of the path, I think, if we deduct the sum of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, which I think is 35, because they average 5 and there are 7 of them, from 81, the number of cells in a sudoku. 81 minus 35 is 46, if I get my maths right, and that is the length of the path, or snake. But I don't see how we start yet. I really don't. These blue squares, they mark either a sum of 10 on the path or 5 off it. I don't know, how does that get us going? I'm not really seeing this at all. I've got 2 given 5s. They can never be, well, I mean, they can never be on a blue cell. Well, the ones that we're given, unsurprisingly, aren't. Oh, maybe that's worth thinking about. 5s can never have a blue cell status, so obviously there's a 5 by Sudoku in one of those 3 cells. The 5 in this box can only be in one of those 3 and not there by Sudoku, because it mustn't be on a blue cell, because it can never add up to 10 or 5. Oh, no, well, we don't know. V could be 5 down here. I was going to confine 5 to one of those cells, but I can't do that. Okay, didn't get very far with that. So let's go back to this instruction about we start in one of the cages visiting, okay, this is quite simple actually. In the first cage that we visit E and M, and then we go back to that cage at the end and visit M again. Now, obviously that proves that digits and letters can repeat in cages, because M is in this cage twice. The path doesn't connect with itself, we know that. So there are 2 M's in the cage, and the first cage is therefore not this cage, because if you put 2 M's in it, one could be in that column, but the other would have to be in this column, clashing with that M. So the 2 M's are in these 2 rows, and this is the first and last cage, and this is the middly cage. So we're starting in this cage. Now what? Okay, one of the M's, I was thinking of the M's as 1 each in row 1 and row 2. Let's think of them as M's per box, because you can only have 1 M per box. One of the M's is in box 2, but one of them is in box 3. So one of these cells is an M. and is on the path. Yes, is on the path, because we visit both the M's in this cage. So purple for the path, green for not path. Those two cells are on the path because anytime two cells are joined, they are either both on or both off the path. We learned that earlier. And when they're both on the path, they add up to 10. So this is a pair that adds up to 10. Now, can the path come round here? This is either all on or all off. There's another M in one of these cells. Of course, there's another M in one of those, and that's the two M's in these rows. So there's an M in one of these two cells as well. That's better than the M in one of these three, which I'm actually going to pencil mark in as well. And there's an M in one of these three. M is actually the most advanced digit or number or letter or whatever character that we have. Now, we're going to visit E and M in, I don't know whether this is the beginning or the end of the path, but at the beginning of the path we're going to visit E and M, and at the end of the path we're going to visit M again. So, one end of the path is in this box, and one end of the path is here. Now, this end could Now, can they be on the path? They would be in, they would have to be separated by non-path cells, well, at least here, yeah. No, only necessarily there. Gosh, I'm not really understanding how we're meant to make progress here. Oh, this one, this circle is on the path and is seeing how many cells are on the path, and it's part of a sum of 10. How does that help? It might do. I can't quite see how it helps, but it might. V and A have to be visited here. Obviously V's in one of those cells because of this, and A is in one of the others. I don't think that's as helpful as the business with M and E and M again, or E and M again up here. I need to figure this one out now. Oh, the snake eggs. What's happening with the snake eggs? I really don't know. Oh, this is tricky, Tobias. What on earth is the start here? Sorry if you're seeing how to get going on this. I'm finding this very confusing. The trouble here is that this doesn't have to be a pass-through of a snake. If it did, this snake would have to either turn left. Actually, it couldn't do that because yeah, that's sort of interesting. What I'm trying to say is if the snake turned left here, it's going to have to carry on to here if it has to carry on. And then you can't start the path here. So you couldn't get out of the box if the snake started here and turned left. I mean, there's nothing to suggest that it does, but that at least can be ruled out. This pair's interesting. If they're off the snake, they add up to 5. Or is it the rule about the eggs or something? I don't know. This is counting the number of path cells it sees. On the path, the circles count the number of path cells they see. Off it, they count the snake egg size. can this be on the path? Is that worth thinking about, whether the corners can be on the path? That might be worth thinking about, especially when we're away from the cages, as in fact all the corners are. So if the path came through V here, it would have to do all of that to avoid touching itself orthogonally. Then it would also have to go here. V would be seeing at least 7 cells. What about this one? If the path came into this corner, it would have to go round here. Then it couldn't cut in immediately. You can't have a 1-cell snake egg in this puzzle. So it would have to go down here. I just don't know. Then does it just... Okay, I'm now realizing the path has to touch all the perimeters, because it can't leave a perimeter side being 9 non-path cells. Because that would be too big for a snake egg in this puzzle. Yeah, these left behind areas, these are going to matter in some way. I just need to figure out how. Oh, V is in a circle here. A corner in a circle. Yeah, so if that is all path, V is at least 7. If this is egg, I don't know. That could be the path. I don't understand how we start. I'm so sorry. Have I missed a rule? Path doesn't touch itself orthogonally. I don't think I have missed a rule. Bother. But the blue squares are definitely either on or off the path. Now that ought to be useful. So if these are on the path goes round there. If they're not, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I've just got to rethink this. Maybe the circles in this cage. What's going on with the circles in this cage? If they're on the path, it's the other end of the path. Oh, the path was 46 cells big. Now there's a bishop's move thing. The path only moves orthogonally. So, and it does start and finish in this cage. So if that was the starting point of the path, we know which cells diagonally it could finish on, because every time it moves, so you have to kind of picture this grid coloured in Bishop's cell colours, black and white, say. If this was a black cell, then, and that was cell 1 on the path, then cell 2 would be white, and every even digit cell on the path would be white. And it would have to finish at number 46, which would be white. So if that was black, it would have to finish on a white cell, which would be there or there. And if that was the start of the path, it has to finish there or there. If that's the start of the path, it's the opposite. It finishes there or there in one of these circles. It's sort of interesting, but it's not enough information. The fact that we've got to visit an E in this cage seems utterly useless to me. Oh, okay, it's not utterly useless, is it? This could be M and E, But if it was, they would add up to 10. And that would be on the path, that M and E pair. That's quite interesting too. I don't know, I think I'm missing something quite big here. It's very hard to get started. We didn't have to visit an M in this cage, that would have helped. It's just V and A we visit in this cage. But we do have to come through it. So one end of the snake is somewhere here, the other end is somewhere here. I mean, I could be divided up like that. Then we have to get into each corner because we can't leave any cells more than 8, any snake eggs more than 8. So we have to not necessarily get right into the corner, but we have to get into each corner box. So we have to be in this box at some point and in this box. No perimeter row can be fully coloured. Oh, maybe they could if you had a 9 in the circle. Oh gosh, I don't know, guys. How do we start this? Found one domino on the path. Can I say that that's not the start point for some reason? Or it's not E? I don't know. I don't see that I've got any right to say anything of the sort. M-E-V. Oh, any letter shown is not on the path. How have I not used that? There we go. They're not on the path. Right, that's not on the path either, because I did miss a rule, didn't I? Oh, okay, that's not on the path either, because the path would have to come in and go out and touch itself. So they're all off the path. We're now in a snake egg, marked by this number, which is at least 5 big. And these digits add up to 5 each. So they are selected from 1, 2, 3, 4. So M is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So is E. That is not E and M there, because that is a pair that is on the path, and M and E add up to 5. So if M and E are in a blue cell, they're off the path. So E is not there. E is here somewhere in the cage, and maybe on the other end of the E and M business. Now, what I was thinking earlier, right, with this being green, we have to have some purple here. This is green and marking the size of its snake egg, which is no more than 8 by the rule. So it can't be that all of that is green, or this cell would be seeing 9 green. So some of these are purple. And if purple gets into this column and out again, it must hit those 2 cells. So it could be snaking like that, or it could be snaking like that. And these are very different snakes. This, I was going to say this pair is not on the path, but actually I don't know that. I thought that because I thought it couldn't be this pair adding up to 5. No, actually I think this pair is on the path. It would be easy to prove it's not, because it would have to be that pair, but I can't prove that. So, oh, if we did that, we'd be hiving off a 2-cell snake egg. If we did that, we have to turn here. Oh, we're always turning here. Right, if we do that, we're turning here to get out. If we do that, we're turning here to let that get out. So we're always coming out here. The 5 is on the path. Now, it could avoid this green by coming down here. In fact, it might well do that to keep the size of this egg down to 5 or something similar. If these were all green, well, that would be 9, but those could be green, and this snake egg would be 8. Now, we did also say that we needed some purple in each corner box. Oh, these can't add up to 5 and thus be off the path because this cell is not 1, 2, 3 or 4. Of course, these are 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Pencil marking. Right, that can't be a 5. These are on the path because that is high. So they add up to 10. So this is a green snake egg that at least comes down to there. I want to say that that's green, but I'm not 100% whether we could start here. That's 1, 2, 3 or 4 for what it's worth. This pair adds up to 10, so there's another high digit in play. If that was on the path, that would be green. Oh, but the path could come down like this. Oh, how many cells is this seeing now? I don't know if this is the beginning or the end of the path. That's annoying within this cage. We have to hit another M somewhere here. Now, if that was purple, it would be on the other end of the path and it would have an M. And that would be M. But M is low, is that? And E is low as well. Is that useful? I can't quite see how it's useful. Now, if that was green, this would have to be green, otherwise the snake would end there. Right, if this was green, that's all green, this is an 8, and the snake has to do all of that to lock in that snake egg and then go there. The V and A it would pick up in this region. It is quite powerful imagining certain cells as certain colours and seeing what that does. This is probably the way we play this game of life here. 20 minutes in. I probably wasted 10 minutes not remembering the rule that I could shade certain cells green immediately. That's quite painful. But the rest has been valuable thinking time, and I've learned a bit about how this works, but not quite enough. Not enough to start and finish this box here. I think that insight about the bishop's moves might still be worth thinking about, because we start, or we meet an E first on the path, and then M. Now, have I missed any other major pieces of information? M's in one of those cells. M's also in one of these. Well, not one of those two. M is in fact in one of those 4 because it mustn't touch the M over there because it's in a different segment of path. What about these blue? What about this blue pair? Or this one being green? I don't know. I don't know. We've got a possible 2. Okay, I was going to rule out that this is purple so that that's a 2-cell section. If this was purple, then that would be on the path. The path would have to start and finish in this cage. And it wouldn't have started or finished in either of those cells. Oh, in fact, this one is green, by the way. I've just worked that out because of where the path curls here. And it's not the E, because the E will be on a purple. Yes, and we were saying that with our 46 cell path, right, this can't be the start of the path, obviously. This could be. And then the path would end on the other bishop's colour, so it would end in one of those two cells. Now, could it really end here? Because that would be on the path then. Can these both be purple? That's the question. That would be green to separate the path ends. This would be an end here. This wouldn't be E and M because they're both low, and this involves a high digit. So this would be the end of the path. This would be the beginning of the path with E and M on it. But the path can't begin there and end here, or vice versa, because they're the same bishop's colour. So it would have to start here instead and do that, or that, but it would have to start there. And that's if this was purple. If this was green, then this end of the path has purple there, then here. And maybe we've got a problem with these cells. If the path started here, that's a different digit to that. This would see as many cells along here. Right, if that was the start of the path and it went this way, it couldn't now go down here. It would have to go to there, and they couldn't then carry on to here because these two circles would have the same digit in terms of what their rule is. Oh, this is also low now. Yes, how far does this see? This is either the end of a path, or it turns here and the end is somewhere along here. But it couldn't go into this blue and make them both purple because there'd be no room for the start of the other side. So it could only go to there. So this is either seeing that cell in itself and maybe that one. M is 2 or 3. Oh, and that means this is a 2-3 pair because they add up to 5. So E is also 2 or 3. And now this is not... Oh, well, okay, it's not E and M off the path. That's a valueless thing. M is... I've put 2 or 3 in the circle. Oh, no. Slow down. I don't know that that's M. This could be M. No, it can't, because M is low. I don't have to slow down. This is the low digit. We've discovered that. So this is not M. This is definitely M, and it's 2 or 3. Okay, so I was all good there. M is 2 or 3. Now, if that's a 3, this is a 7. If that's a 2, this is an 8. So this is either 7 or 8. I mean, probably not very helpful, but worth keeping an eye on. This is not purple anymore because we don't come out of this cage. This is green. And this is at least 3. Now, if these were green, there'd be a 1-4 pair. If they're purple, they're either 1-9 or 4-6 because they don't have 2 or 3 in it. So they must use those digits. 5 5 could be there if these were all purple. Then we'd be going purple round here. Don't know the answer to that, but do I know, can this be E? So we would start with E and M at this end of the path, and then we would end with an M on a different bishop's colour from that, and that would be here. This cannot be E and M. M we've placed there, so now these don't include M here. M is definitely in one of these cells. So one of these is definitely purple. Purple goes into this top row. And, well, no, I wanted to say that it must come here as well, but it could start like, no, it has to start on a different colour, a different bishop's colour. So if that's M, this would be at the end, so it would have to see E and then M. And it would have to start there, see E there and M there. In fact, it has to pick up one of these as M. Could it possibly start E there and M there? Or it can't start with E here. This can't be M. How about that as an idea? Yeah, I think that's right. This can't be M because it would be a circle with a 2 or a 3 in it. And the only ways out are there or coming down here and going there. Now, M is after E, so that couldn't be the start. E couldn't be in those cells, and if it went that way, those couldn't be E either. So E would fail if that was M, and it went down here. If it went this way, again, it couldn't pick up E before M, it would pick up E after M. So I think I've just proved that this is not M. So I just need to go through this proof again, because it might be nonsense. If this is, yeah, okay, the one other thing that I need to rule out is that this is E going to M at this end of the path, because that would then be the end of the path if it was M, and they'd be on the same bishop's colour, which is not right for a 46 cell snake. I mean, this is complicated stuff. I hope this puzzle gets easier at some point. So that can't be E if that's M. If that's M and it's on the EM end of the snake, well, E can't be here because that would also be purple. It can't be there because you'd get stuck on the snake here. And it can't be here because it couldn't get out. That's amazing. This cannot be M. This is M here and is on the path. And it's not the start of the path. I don't think the path can go through this blue thing now. Oh yes, it could. It could start here and get out this way. Yes, it could. Although, look, it couldn't. Because it would look exactly like that. In fact, it would be starting on the wrong bishop's colour, and it would also need a 3 in that circle if it started here. And it can't start here because that would also be purple. So I still don't know which end of this snake is the beginning and which end is the end. But I do know that these can't be purple now. They're green. And remember the 46 cell snake. These can't both be beginnings, or ends of the snake, I mean, because they'd be on the same bishop's colour and it couldn't be 46 cells. So one of these is green, and that's going to link up this green snaky egg area and make this at least a 4. But its maximum is a 4 because it's in a double green thing. So that is a 4. My goodness, I'm proud of that deduction. It goes with a 1. I don't know what E is. E is Or E is 2 or 3. So E is in one of these cells and on the snake. Now, it's either there starting this bit of the snake. There's no negative constraint on the blue squares. Or it's here. So one of these is E and the other is green, and that completes, the green one will complete the 4-cell snake egg. So I can make all of these purple to shut in the snake egg. And now this has to come out through there. That is a low digit. It's definitely seeing those 3 cells. And maybe that one, but then it would turn. And maybe that one, because that might be the end. So that is 3, 4, or 5. This is green. Oh, right. What happens if that's purple? And I'm talking about this area, which would all go green. And this would become a huge snake egg because you couldn't get into those 3 cells. That would also be green. This would be green. And that would be green. Right, if that was purple, all of these would have to be green because you can't just dip a snake in for 2 cells and out again. And that would be too big for a snake egg. So that is not purple, that's green. The snake goes round here, probably, and this is a corner now. So it goes there, that's now green. The snake continues here. It could go, in fact it does go here because of the blue. You always have to have the same colour on both sides of a blue bit. That is not on its own because we don't have any 1-cell bits. So green comes out there, that joins onto there. This is now purple, that's green. This is purple. These are purple and they join up the snake. Whoa, it's suddenly firing with snake cells. Those are green. This is the size of a snake egg. This is seeing exactly 3 cells on the snake. So that's a 7 because of the blue thing making a 10. That's now not a 3, and therefore it's got to take that cell in, and that is our E. That now has to be green. The 4 is fulfilled. That was not E. This is E. And it's also a circle that we can just write a 3 in. That's now 4. E is a 3, that's here. M is a 2. M is a 2, that's 8 on the on the blue cell. M is a 2, and we've found where M is here. We've picked up E and M, so this, I now know this is the start going left here, and this is the end, and that's M at the end. Right. Oh look, purple snake's down here. Green separates these. We can't join the snake up yet. We've got a long way to go. So those are now both purple. That's green on the dot. That's purple. This is a pair that adds to 5. So that is a 1, 4 pair. In fact, I can now place 4 in column 8 and then 1, which gives me a 9 there. These can't be an 8. Do I know where 3 is? No, not obviously. 5, 6 and 7 to place in row 1. That's not a 5. That's, no, yes, it's not, it is green because this can't be a 1-cell area. In fact, let's count these snake eggs. We've got a 2-cell snake egg, a 3 and a 4. So everything else is 5, 6, 7 and 8. Everything else is at least 5. We've already got 5 cells there, 5 there. We've got to come down into this cage. Oh, and we've got to come into these cells somewhere, because otherwise we would be leaving 9 green, and that's too many. To get into these cells, surely we have to go in and out again, either there or at the end. So these are all purple. And we keep coming out. They're purple. That's now purple because of the blue dot. This is now purple to avoid joining up again. I don't know whether we join up here or here yet. Do I? I don't know how I know if I know. I don't think I know. They're green. These are green. What that one is, the purple could go down here. So Whoa, come on, snake, finish off suddenly. This is thrilling. Sorry, path through life. You're not really a snake, I know. That's purple to get out. That could be the 5. Now, any more circles? Yes. This is seeing at least 4, but not actually 4. This is seeing at least 4, but not actually 4. Exactly the same. Oh, and they're on dots, so they're high digits. So they're both 6, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, they're not on dots, sorry, they're on blue squares. And they go with a complement to make 10. That one can't be a 1, so that's not a 9. This is 6 or 8. And this is also a message. This is not seeing 9 cells, because it's only seeing cells in the bottom row, and it's not seeing that one. So that's not a 9, that's not a 1. This, could it be seeing 8 cells? No, because there would be a branch there. So that's a 6. That's a 4. So the maximum 6 cells it can see are those. It can't go beyond that. Yeah. Okay, so that's done. These are green. That's purple coming down. This is purple. This is green. We've got, this region is 8. That's our biggest snake egg. This region is now at least 7, which is going to be max. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's the 7 region. That cell is purple. And now this is green. That's purple. Both of these are purple. That's green. And we finished colouring the grid. Now, we can fill in all the circles now. That is a 6 in its snake egg. Oh, and this is the last one, and it's seeing 7 cells. So that goes with a 3. Now, can we do some Sudoku at last? There's no 6 in those, so this is a 5, 7 pair. That's an 8. What have we got to place up here? 3 and 6 in box 3. 1, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 9 here. That can't be a 7. Now, I've got to use the blue dots. So this is not 6, 4 or 7, 3. It's also not 2, 8. So this is a 1, 9 pair, but we've got a 1, 4 pair in that box. This is not 3, 7 or 8, 2. It's either 6, 4. It's not 1, 9, because that can't be either. So it is 6, 4, and we know the order. This is adding up to 10. It's now 2, 8 or 1, 9. I haven't thought about V and A in this box yet. I'll do that if I have to. I probably will have to. Oh, we know M is 2, but we don't know. Oh, this pair adds up to 5, though. That's 1 or 4, and that can't be 4. So that's a 1, 4 pair. M is 2, so that's a 2. That's just effectively Sudoku getting me through that bit. There's a 1 in one of those cells. This pair is not 3, 7 now, so it's a 1, 9 pair. It's on the line, so it adds up to 10. That's not a 6. What have we got? 2, 1, 9, 8, 6, 4. That's a naked 5, so that's 7 in the corner with 3 beneath it. That's now 6, 5 in the top row. This is a 5, 8, 9 triple. That one's not 5. This is a 6, 7 pair. They are resolved from the top row. I see a 1 X-wing that says that's not a 1. This is where 1 goes in row 6. That can't be a 7, so we've got a 6, 9 pair here. 7 there. This pair is now 5, 4, and we know the order. This pair is not 4, 6, 1, 9, or 7, 3, so it's 2, 8. That sorts out the M there. That's 6 in the box. In fact, we finished the middle box. And we finish almost all the middle rows, apart from that pair, which are probably finished in some way that I can't quite see yet. But I think we're motoring now. Surprising, I don't know what that is. I'm still aware that I haven't figured out V and A down here. Oh, and A is a 7. Well, we've got the 7. And which way did we go? This way to go EM. So V is one of those two cells and V is 6. So we've done it already. Bother. That's not going to give me any extra help. 6, 7, 9, 1, 4. Oh, 5 is here by Sudoku in the box. This is a 2, 3, 8 triple. So that fixes 6 and 3. That fixes 6 and 9. 2, 3, 5, 4, 1. We need an 8 in one of those cells. So that's not 8. We need a 6 in row 3. That's got to be here. So that's 7 or 9. That's 3 or 9. Have I still got a blue dot? I've got this one. Yes, that can't be 1, so that's not 9. Something in this row. Oh, that can't be 4. That's what it is. So that fixes this blue dot. There we go. 3, 9. This is a 2, 8 pair. I don't know how they go. 2, 5 and 8 here. So that's not 5. That is. This is a 1, 9 pair. That makes that 8. Eight and 9. That's an 8. That's 9. That's going to sort out these rows completely. That's an 8. Then we've got a 2 and a 7. That's a 3. This is 2. And this 8 completes our puzzle. So let's just check that we visited E, which is 3, and M, which is 2. Then along the path of life, we found 6, which is V, A, which is 7, and finished on M, which is 2. So we've done all that. We've got our snake egg sizes and labels where appropriate. We've got all our path designed, and this is an 8, and that is the correct solution to the path through life by Tobias. Solve counter 3. I think Tobias has not broadcast this widely, which is great. He's just created it and tested it himself. Fantastic stuff. I hope you followed that. I'm sorry about the delay at the start before I remembered to colour the given letters. But I'm delighted to have got through that. It's a very clever puzzle and a bit mind-boggling. Fabulous stuff. Well, congratulations to Tobias and Oliver indeed. And hello to Tobias's wife as well. And we will see you all again tomorrow, I hope, for more variant Sudoku fun. Thanks for watching and bye for now.